Neil MacDonald at 2, Kenny Wharton at 3, Jeff Wrightson at 4, Peter Jackson at 5, Gary Stevens, the England fullback, at 2, Neil Poynton at 3, Kevin Ratcliffe at 4, Dave Watson at 5, Paul Power at 6, and away we go on prompt 3 o'clock. Everton the first to break, but Jackson heads away. Neil MacDonald plays it short for Stevenson, and that's young Jeff Wrightson getting his first touch of the ball. Flicked on by Heath. Sharp. Sheedy. Breaks down Rhoda. Peter Beardsley. And just too strong there. Glenn Rhoda coming for the Lancashire side. Chips it forward, looking for Sharp. Lays it up to Heath. Heath, a shot. It's a chip on, and it's just gone past the post. Rhoda. Sharp challenging. Rhoda clears. A good long ball for Goddard. The ball hangs in the wind. That helped Goddard rather, but the defence got the ball away. Rhoda. Ball loose. So forward come Everton. Gary Stevens. Trevor Stevens. Watson. Sheedy. Watson. Beardsley racing for this, but out comes Southall. Sheedy. Chance, but a great tackle there by Glenn Rhoda. Saved a very dangerous situation. And he also found Peter Beardsley. Now the ball across into the Everton penalty area. Just as well, there were defenders in depth there. There was a missed kick, but now Everton coming forward. Gary Stevens all the way through, but the ball through for Kevin Sheedy. That was the head of Kevin Sheedy. But now it's Peter Beardsley who can't control. Sheedy. Harper into the centre, but Harper picks up the loose ball. Good interception by MacDonald, but the pass not so good. It's nobody forward though for Everton, and Glenn Rhoda has plenty of time to let it run to Thomas, who now finds Kenny Wharton. Andy Thomas turned well, helped on by Goddard. Now Kenny Wharton again. Harper, Sharp turns well. He's forward. Beaten low by Peter Jackson. Poynton for Everton. Sheedy doesn't control it. Rhoda picks up for Newcastle. Goddard. Beardsley. Gary Stevens. Stephen. Everton keep up the pressure. Poynton into the centre, but only Sharp there for Everton, and that ball with the win as Glenn Rhoda has the ball now for United. Away by Dave Watson into touch. MacDonald again. Beardsley going forward. Testing Ratcliffe for speed, gets round Ratcliffe, but covering was Dave Watson against Ratcliffe. Worried there by Peter Beardsley, which MacDonald has come up to take. Goddard in the centre, Peter Jackson's come up, so too Glenn Rhoda. The ball found Jackson, swung away by Kevin Sheedy, and Sharp breaks for Everton. It's Heath rather on that far side. Faced by Kenny Wharton. Good ball to Harper. Harper inside, and this should be Everton's first goal. It is, it's there. It's Heath rather on that far side. Faced by Kenny Wharton. Good ball to Harper. Harper inside, and this should be Everton's first goal. It is. It's there. Latched neatly on to Harper's inside ball, and it's Everton in the lead now by 1-0. The goal scorer, Paul Power, once of Manchester City. But that one safely enough through for Martin Thomas. Now McDonald. Neat piece of play there by Neil MacDonald. Looks for Peter Beardsley down the Newcastle United right. It's Stevenson on the far side. Stevenson beats him on, beats Poynton. And into the centre, good corner. Jackson! Peter Jackson up there with the attack, but Southall in good position. So now Southall. Heath against Rhoda. Rhoda wins, but again the ball only finds an Everton player, Sheedy, forward by Poynton. Rhoda lets it run through to Thomas, who finds MacDonald. Peter Beardsley, back to MacDonald. Wrightson takes over from Peter Beardsley, and the ball in touch for an Everton throw. Taken quickly by Poynton. Poynton gets the return. Sharp inside for Trevor Stephen. Sheedy across to Gary Stevens. Gary Stevens wins, but Wrightson picks up for United, and that's another bad ball from United. Chasing the ball all the way is Poynton. The ball just runs. Martin Thomas. Off the head of Ratcliffe, cleared by Watson. Peter Jackson finds Darren Jackson. Now Newcastle have the chance to break. Peter Beardsley on the left. Thomas wants the ball played inside. Beardsley tried to do it, but the defender stopped it. This time Beardsley gets it across, and Thomas almost got there. MacDonald hesitated a vital fraction of a second, and now Everton break through sharp. But covering is Peter Jackson. Neil MacDonald, mindful of the fact that there's been one costly break down that left-hand side for Everton, hesitated a vital moment. Now Rhoda to Goddard. Paul Stevenson. Goddard did well to keep that ball. Back to Stevenson. Another interception for Everton. And a good one through for Adrian Heath, who was just an inch or two offside. Quickly taken by Rhoda. Andy Thomas. Beardsley. Challenged by Trevor Stephen, and Stephen fouls Peter Beardsley. And Beardsley's kick was from the wrong place. So Kenny Wharton takes it instead to Peter Beardsley. Beardsley forward, finds MacDonald. Jackson, a good challenge by Harper, and then back to Southall. Flying header away by Peter Jackson. Into touch. Gary Stevens. Back to Stevens. Gets the ball across goal. Gary Stephen. Harper into the penalty area. Away by Rhoda, who is fouled. Everton, always a battling side. Good build-up. Into the last 5 minutes of the first half. Still that one Everton goal dividing the two sides. Ball given away there by Rhoda. Everton, a drive there from Trevor Stephen rather, but well wide. Referee Ken Lupton in the centre circle, just having a look at the watch. He'll see that there are 4 minutes left in the first half. McDonald, Stevenson. Now United break. Paul Stevenson does well. He resists one challenge. He's beaten by the second. And now Everton get the ball away. Sharp. Good head, good flick inside. Gary Stevens. Beats Darren Jackson. Sharp it is in the centre. Away though by Wrightson for Newcastle. But that's Neil Poynton on the ball for Everton. Forward for Sharp. Sheedy. Heath. Sharp. Oh, and offside against Trevor Stephen. It looked as though Trevor Stephen was in the clear. Stephen, disappointment on his face as he looked towards the linesman. But now Darren Jackson gives the ball away for Newcastle. Gary Stevens. Sharp. Darren Jackson. Glenn Roeder. And Martin Thomas. Watson got that ball away for Everton. Ball driven forward again. Peter Beardsley challenging Gary Stevens, but Trevor Stephen, disappointed to see that one run away into touch. Kenny Wharton. Ball back from Roeder. Back to Roeder again. Roeder forward. Gary Stevens, Trevor Stephen, and into touch. Kenny Wharton, Peter Beardsley, nice turn by Peter Beardsley, looked for Goddard, but the pass too strong. Southall. Sharp against Peter Jackson, Sharp wins, and through was coming Paul Power, but it went through to Thomas. And Martin Thomas rather angrily waving the defence away. He wants the ball upfield. Wrightson, back to McDonald. Ratcliffe. Picked up by Andy Thomas, Paul Stevenson, Paul Goddard. And an unfortunate one there. The ball not controlled properly by Newcastle. And Neville Southall picked it up. Paul Goddard rather disappointed there. Into the last minute of the first half. So Neville Southall clears. Sharp. Roeder rather put off by that challenge. And again Newcastle United lose it. A shot for goal, and just as well that Thomas was behind that shot from Trevor Stephen. Now it's Paul Stevenson. Long drive, looks for Peter Beardsley. Beardsley it is who gets there. Beardsley turns. Goddard. Shot by Goddard, beaten away by Southall. That was an instinctive save by Southall. Now Wharton. Oh, and that's a bad ball by Wharton. And Gary Stevens can just wrap things up by giving it to his goalkeeper. The hand goes across the chest of linesman Barry Miller. Ken Lupton blows the whistle. The first half comes to an end, and on reflection, I think Everton probably just about deserved to be ahead. The goal came in the 23rd minute following an Everton break down the left. The ball was played across, and Paul Power just got the vital touch to give Everton the lead. Newcastle have come back. Peter Jackson was unlucky to see his shot cleared off the line, but the score at half-time, Newcastle United 0, Everton 1.